Welcome to this forum tour presentation. This presentation is divided up into 3 sections. First, I will go to a brief introduction for what the goals of the forum, how you can customize the views on the forum, and I will explain the categories and subcategories, tags and forum groups. And then I will go on about how you can customize it even further for your personal liking in your profile, and things to read after you sign up. And then some basic forum features so that you become a more experienced forum user in just a short time span of this video. So first of all, the goal of this forum, that's to bridge all the islands we've created over the past years. So we create all these islands, chat groups, forum groups, Reddit pages, the list goes on and on, which is not bad. It's good to have local communities which can communicate in their own language and talk about local events, plan and discuss things on that level. That's great. But first of all, we also have to communicate as a global community, because when we think together and we act together, our actions are louder and stronger. So I think that's a very important thing to keep there, which has been slowly decaying over the years. Some people are only on Facebook, some only on Reddit, some only on Discord, or Telegram groups. This forum is to bridge all those things, and I will show you how that could work. So, the topic views. Those are important because on a desktop, this view is great. It's great because you will have a nice big screen, so you can list all the categories here and the latest categories here, just the 5 latest ones. If you want to expand that, you can click on more, and then you see the latest view, so also from your last visit, stuff that you still could read, but also the other things here. It goes on in infinity, just like on Reddit, basically. So on mobile devices with small screens, you don't have space for this and this. This is how it will look on a mobile device. I'll quickly switch. So this is how it will look like on a mobile device. You have the categories here and subcategories there, and then the latest post here per category. That could be giving you a wrong indication of the activities on the forum. For example, if this category is not that active, you will always see these things here. While these could be very active, and you will miss probably some stuff here. So it's best if you're on mobile to switch to latest. So then you have this view, which is more, I think more efficient for the size of the screen. And you can still see the categories and tags of all the topics. And I will show you later in this presentation how you can make this your default layout. So, those were the topic views. Well, not entirely. You also have the top view, which is based on an algorithm, on the amount of views, or the activity in the thread, a lot of replies, for example, or popular links, or just a lot of other things that makes it worthy for the number 1 place. You can also filter this based on a different time scale. So if you don't visit the forum that often, this view will give you a more summarized approach to keep track of things. Also showed you the mobile view. So let's explain the categories. So basically there are 2 main categories. Activism, which is about translating the train of thought into action. So for example, on your local level, start projects like, window farms, things that you're into for applying the train of thought to your local area. And the train of thought category is mainly about just discussing things, basically open discussion, but to make it more broader, more specific, it's only about the train of thought here, the zeitgeist train of thought. Uncategorized is, you can see more like an open discussion thing, But still, of course, it has to relate to Zeitgeist. But this could be about the forum itself. If you want to change some things or you have some suggestions, you found a certain plugin for the forum that's not installed at the moment, those kind of things. Stuff that doesn't fit into the other categories, like the introduction says. So in activism you have reports, like it says, it's to keep each other informed, and this is also a special category because it automatically posts things through our forum bot, Louis the Logic Gremlin. It automatically creates posts based on RSS feeds from websites, blogs, whatever has an RSS feed. You can also post here manually, that's also possible, but it's mainly automated. And the other thing that makes it special is it will also be in different languages. This is the only category, actually subcategory, that allows non-English posts. All the rest of the forum is all in English, and that's to prevent the island creation I mentioned before. Then we have support. It's a special category where people can ask questions and the community can answer them. So you don't have to send an email to one person and get all the work of that job. This is just everyone can answer it. Events, well, plan and discuss events like a Z-Day or whatever you would like to prepare for the community. And projects, well, long-term things. If you want to have a goal like a window farm project, you can discuss it here, assign it to people, mark solutions or tasks as complete. I will give you more concrete examples in the next few minutes. So if it doesn't fit in any of these subcategories, then you can just post it in the main category. So if you click on new topic, then here are all these categories that you can choose from. If you don't want to have all the options, you can also click on activism and then click on new topic, and then you will only see the things from this category. So only the subcategories that are listed there. So if it doesn't fit in report, support or whatnot, then you can also post it in the main activism one. It doesn't have to fit in the subcategories. So train of thought is mostly about discussing things relating to the Zeitgeist train of thought. And you can watch this video here to get a more in-depth overview of what that could mean. And then you can use the subcategories videos, images, audio, blogs and news to post things so that people can click on, for example, if they want to know about news articles, then here they are. And then you can also use the tag system to, for example, zoom into something that's been tagged with culture in decline. So then you see those topics. And you can also set notifications for these tags or categories, but I will show you that in a few minutes. So if it doesn't fit in any of these, then uncategorized is the place to be. Staff is a hidden category only for the admins and moderators to discuss things. And to have more like, to not bother other people with posts that they cannot do anything with because they don't have admin and moderator rights anyway. So the tags can be found if you click here on the hamburger menu and then tags. Here you have an overview. They're also grouped in, for example, countries. And if you click then on NL, you can see the Dutch progress here on the forum. But keep in mind that these things have to be manually tagged. And this can be done by admins and moderators, but also people with a sufficient trust level. And I will explain trust levels also in a few minutes. Then we also have forum groups. If you go to the same hamburger menu and then groups, I will filter them based on public groups because then we have the same view. Mostly you can see here chapters, but you can also see some teams. So I'm a member of the education team, IT team, media team, and chapter Netherlands. But I can also join any of these other teams, and when you click on one of these, you can also message them so they'll get it in their mailbox, and then you can basically start a group chat in that sense, based on a certain topic. So it's not that you will spam everyone with mixed subjects, it will be a thread for that group. And you can also then click here on our website, which is the bridge for all these different islands we created. So you can go here to the main page of the Lithuanian chapter or Los Angeles, and as you can see here in the address bar below, it could be a Facebook page or a real dedicated official web page. Doesn't really matter, whatever is suitable for you. But this way people can also reach you at your own local resources. You're not totally dependent on the forum. And then you can also click on the country tag here, so for example NL, like I showed you earlier, so you can also see what this chapter is up to. So next to these forum views, categories, latest and top, there's also docs and wikis. So docs is an overview of all the topics here on the forum that have been tagged with the tag doc. And only staff, and staff are the admins and moderators, can assign this tag to posts. So these are edited and fine-tuned by the admins and moderators themselves, and that's to maintain a certain baseline overview of information, which is hopefully by the experts of this forum written. Supposedly we are the ones that know best how this forum is organized, because we have studied all the settings and the possibilities. Of course, always you can address these things. Let's say if you click on, let's say this topic, now you have the doc overview, but you can also zoom into the discussion board, and then you can leave replies here like, hey, you're totally wrong. That's fine, we can discuss this and then we can update this. But this is not community based, so not everyone can edit this. The wikis, however, are like that. Anyone with trust level 1 or higher can contribute for new content, and people with trust level 3 or higher can promote a topic to a wiki page. And if you then also tag it with the wiki tag, then it will show up here in the wiki overview. And I will discuss trust levels in a little bit in more detail. So, it's also good to know, like I briefly already showed you, that you can install this website as an app on your phone, but also on your computer. So if you go to the docs page and then select this topic, then you can see that if you install it as an app on your phone, you also get notifications. And it's not really an app, it's basically a progressive web application. But it will send you notifications and will show you the website, but it's actually a browser feature. I use Chrome for this, but Firefox also has this, but I think it's more limited. I haven't really tried it yet. So the trust level system I also briefly mentioned. If you go to this page, which you can also find if you go to the docs page, and here it is, understanding trust levels, but you can also just search for trust and then you will see it here as well. You can read this to get a more in-depth overview of it, but in a nutshell, it's slowly introducing people to new features and abilities. That way, new users are not exposed to a whole lot of features, so they don't get overwhelmed by what do I have to use here and for what reason. But also to limit trolls, because you don't want to give people certain privileges that could be damaging for the community, like for example editing wiki pages. So you have to be trust level 1 to edit pages and trust level 3 to promote a topic to become a wiki page. To become trust level 1 is also explained here, so you have to enter at least 5 topics, read 30 posts, spend about 10 minutes reading posts. So it's not that hard to become trust level 1, but yeah, it does help. This course, which is the software we use, has done a lot of research and also based on related work, and they came up with this trust level system, and it has proven to work for a lot of communities, with a lot of more users. So it will work for us as well. So once you've signed up, it's always good to check out the profile details so people can get to know you better. So if you leave a small introduction here, and perhaps a profile header if that's to your liking, and an avatar, then that will give a more personalized touch to it. Furthermore, you also have notification settings, which are very, very interesting, because they will allow you to have more distraction-free experience, but also you can keep track of the forum without actually visiting the forum. So here you can disable emails if you want that, and here is the activity summary. So if you don't visit the forum, then you will get a weekly overview by default. You can also adjust that to different time periods, and it will give you an overview of the most popular threads out there and some recommendations based on your activities on the forum. And also about this, you only get an email if you haven't been on the forum for the last 10 minutes, so you won't get an email by default. So only when away, unless you change that, of course, here. You can also enable mailing list mode, which will override the activity summary, and that will give you an email of everything that's been posted on the forum, in case that's to your liking, of course. Then you can also customize your notifications even further. You can also set certain schedules of when you want to be notified and some other stuff here. You can also set certain categories as watched, so that will mean that you will get a notification. You can also track certain categories, so you only get a bubble of a counter of how many new topics are there, and some other stuff here. You can go through that in more detail in your own profile. You can also track certain users, or because I'm a member of the IT team and media team and the Dutch chapter, I automatically track these tags. So then I see this notification bubble on the forum. I won't get a notification, but I will see visually that there has been some activity that I might be interested in. Then also the interface, you can adjust the theme to be completely dark mode or light mode, but please be aware that the system will automatically detect if you have dark mode enabled on your system, so it will then switch to dark mode. So you don't have to set it, but you can set it hard here if the forum is not able to detect your dark mode on your system, but on Android and Linux it will work. And here you can adjust it if you want to do it hard-coded. And this is the thing I was mentioning about the default view. So if you're on mobile mostly, then you can set this to latest. So you will always, when you log on to the forum, you see the Reddit view of the threads. And there's some other stuff here that you could check out, but I think these are the most important ones. Then, after you signed up, it's very good to also leave an introduction in this thread. And if your chapter has not been listed here, by, for example, you don't have a forum group yet, you can read this here and request a forum group, so we'll create one and also put you here on the map, so that people also have a visual representation of the Zeitgeist movement on this forum. This is only for this forum, active users here. This is not for the whole worldwide community. And the reason for that is that we want to keep it accurate. So, of course, we can go through the whole history of the Zeitgeist movement and add in every country here a dot, but if that's not active anymore, then it doesn't make sense to represent that as well. It will give you a false overview. Also some other information here. Please read this thread carefully, and then you can click here, and then you can leave a comment here with your details, so then people can know that you're there, but also we can add your details to the map. Okay, so let's do some basic forum features. So let's create a news article. So we copy this link, and we go here, click on new topic, and as it says here, you can type either a title or paste the link in here. So we'll just do that. And as you can see, it will automatically grab the title from there, put it in here, and put the URL in there, and we'll give you here also some suggestions. Your topic is similar to these things. So if this is a question about something, you can already maybe see a similar question here, and thus hopefully also an answer. Or you can see that maybe your topic has been posted already, so you don't have to post it again. You can just go to the thread and comment there. So if we close this help window, then you can see here it created from this a nice thumbnail, and if you now click on post topic, then it will end up in the forum. But then it will be uncategorized. So let's say that this is related to the Zeitgeist movement. It's a news article, so you can type here in news, and there it is. And if necessary, they can also apply a certain tag to it. So we also explain the suggestions. Let's create a video as well, because they're somewhat different. So if you click here, it will extract the title from the YouTube article, YouTube video. It'll give you the same overview again of suggestions, but also create for you the embedded video player. So you only have to copy paste the link in here. The forum itself will do the rest for you. You don't have to use the menus here. So now we go more into the direction of project management. The forum itself is not specifically made for project management, but I don't think we'll also do project management in that sense in the Zeitgeist movement, that we really need dedicated software for that. At least that's how I perceive it. I think the features here on this forum will be sufficient. So let's say you want to create a new project here. Then you click here on the project subcategory, and you create a new topic. So let's say let's start a window farm, just to keep things the same, in the Netherlands. You can add some tags here, like for example Netherlands. Window farms are open source, so yeah, just for the example I will add it here. Also has some automation, sure. And let's assign it to a team. Well, I would say this is the education team. So then we can add here some stuff, like let's do this. I have to add some more text here, otherwise it won't be allowed. It has a minimum set of characters. So yeah, this is not relevant. So let's post this. So now we've created a thing here. Oh, it's maybe also interesting. You can also tag the education team here. So we'll mention just one other person, so the damage is limited of this example. So now everyone in the education team has been notified about this. And as you can see, it's an international group to plan and discuss education team activism projects. And these are links to the education team tag and the category activism projects, which we are now in. But now I can also assign this. So here are some people you as suggestions. This is Dennis, one of the admins. But also people with trust level 3 or higher can be assigned. So yeah, I'm not sure how many people have this at this point. Not many people. So I will assign it to Dennis then. So now Dennis will get notified of this issue, and he then can work on this. This is of course just an example. In this context it doesn't make much sense because it's my project. Why would I assign it immediately to someone else? But let's say I'm dependent on something in the workflow for this project on some person. Then I can assign it to this person, and the person will be notified, and once that person has done it, he can remove it from his task list. If you go to your profile, you can also see your assigned tasks there. But let's say this is done. Thank you, Dennis. That works. So I'll reply here. Then I can mark this as a solution. Of course, it's not really a solution, but just for the example. And there it is. So this will give you a basic project workflow. This thing about assigning tasks to people and marking comments as solved is also enabled for the support subcategory. Okay, let's now remove this. So, if you don't log on to the forum for a week or whatever has been set in your profile to receive the digest of the forum overview, it will look like this. So you will see how many topics have been created since your last visit and how many new users have been created. And you can adjust this to your liking. For example, we can go back further. So then you can see that 47 topics have been created. And then you can see the popular topics here as well. This will be then in your email mailbox to whatever time period that you set in there in your profile. And of course you can also unsubscribe if you find these annoying. But I would suggest to just change the time frame if you find the emails too frequent. Because that way you will stay notified of activities in the Zeitgeist movement, and for us it's also easy because we don't have to write newsletters. If people use this forum and comment on the right threads, then automatically we also have a newsletter in that way. So to give you a brief overview of the forum thread features, so what kind of formatting can be used, those kind of things. Well, you can enable a table of contents, you can use Markdown for formatting, you can have checkboxes like you saw earlier, you can also enable GIFs, like I showed you, you can tag people and groups. You can also tag categories, but also tag the tags. Then you also have emojis, time zones. If you want to suggest a time to meet, then it automatically will also show you what that time is in some time zones. You can also customize this when you create this in a post. So if you know that this person is, I don't know, in Germany or in Japan, then you can also change it to specifically that. There's some more features here, also canned replies. That means that you can create some pre-formatted replies. If they happen too frequent, especially if you're probably a moderator or admin, then you can just pull out these pre-formatted replies and you don't have to write the same thing over and over. So it will save time. You can also hide details if there's too much information that doesn't have to be there all the time. So we'll keep the threads condensed. You can also create policies, which for example a certain group has to accept, and they can also revoke that. It's mostly useful, I think, from admins and mods, but yeah, possibilities are to your liking. You can also build a poll. which has different representations. This is a pie graph, but you can also create box plots or yeah, those kind of things. No, not box plots, bar plots. So table of contents, like I showed here, wiki functionality, which can only be done by trust level 3 or higher, but also shared edits, which looks like Google Docs, but it's not that advanced. You cannot see in real time what someone else is typing there. It has a delay of perhaps 10 seconds or so, but it comes close to it. So it might be useful for an interactive meeting where you have the minutes of the meeting, so people can edit it in near real time. And as shown here, you can also mark topics as solved. Then we also have Jitsi, which is another open source project we integrated into the forum. So if you have, let's see, here you can select the Jitsi option. Then you can create a room ID here, which if you don't fill anything in will be just a random room ID. You can also adjust the label. And now it says start conference, but you can create whatever you want. And then insert that, and then it will look like this. So if you then activate that, it will not work now because my webcam is already in use. But then you will see here the lobby. So you can disable certain things here in case you want to enter the meeting room without your video or audio enabled. And you only need to put in a nickname here. You don't need to register. Only the moderators of the Jitsi rooms need to log in at the first time. And that's documented in our documentation page. If you go here to Jitsi meetings, get all the information here, and you can request a moderator account here. So that we're not limiting that area. Everyone could be a moderator in that sense. Of course, there's some vetting there. You need to know that you're really involved with the Zeitgeist movement, because otherwise you could abuse our server for your own meetings. Yep. So then we also have a holiday calendar. It's actually only in use now for the staff. So let's say you go on holiday, then you can leave a reply here with your date and where you go on holiday, so today for example. And when you leave that reply, it will automatically create a calendar event here and will update your user profile to this. So you have an island here, which I don't have here. This is just the example. And when you tag a person, it will show you a calendar item. So you will know that if you tag that person, hey, can you do this? Okay, he's on holiday. Maybe we'll expand this functionality beyond the staff, which are the mods and admins. But at this point, I don't see the benefit for that. But if we become more an active community, then this could become very interesting for the rest of the forum as well. So we also have, with the trust levels, you can also flag posts. And the higher the trust level, the higher the weight is of that flagging. So let's say, let's try, we can flag this perhaps. So we flag this, and you get an options here, like it's inappropriate based on the community guidelines or code of conduct, it's spam or something else. You just have 3 choices. And when you do this, admins and moderators will be notified, and then they can take action based on that. But if the community flags a certain post by a certain number in a certain period of time, then it will automatically be hidden from the forum until a moderator can have a look. So in that way, toxic posts that somehow did came through with some maybe a picture or something, because it does have some AI to filter out toxic language based on the Google Perspective API. But if that somehow was circumvented, then yeah, the community can also help with moderation. I think that will also lower the load on a small team. That's basically the forum in a nutshell. There are of course many more features and options available. There are also a ton of plugins we haven't checked out, but yeah, this will help you to become a more experienced user in by just looking at this video. Thank you for your time, and thank you for signing up on the forum, and see you there.